I don't even remember where the hell I left off. October 22nd, 9:45 a.m. Yeah, it's been like a week since I played this. Good grief. Were you asleep last... Were you able to sleep last night? Huh? Oh, sleep! Sure, I slept. For a grand total of 0 hours. Guten Morgen, you two. You look like you're ready to put on a real show. But before you do, I have a good luck gift for you. The voice print analysis came back, and the results couldn't be more clear. The voice in the mock trial video and the tape recording are one and the same. In other words, the recording's a fabrication. It's fucking fake. The lab is continuing their study of the tape. So far, they found signs of overdubbing. Dubbing, what? But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. Who's there? Wait. Did you see who it was? No. I got a quick look, but they got away. I think I might have been Hugh. I bet he was eavesdropping. I wonder if he saw a hand. Oh, I'm sure he wasn't the only one just now. I bet Robin and the Box Skull were listening in too. I'll make sure they don't make a run for it. That is my final gift to you. Before I die. Okay. All that's left now is to reach out to the truth. Time for a mini Court of Steel workout. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Your turn. I'm Athena Sykes, and I'm fine. Just hit my mic. Alrighty. All rise. I should be able to do this in like 2 hours. This is just one court case. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. The Sykes Brigade is totally psyched. I mean, the defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready as well. I mean, isn't that right, Prosecutor Blackquill? Yes, well, moving right along. Yesterday's adjournment was unexpected, yet necessary. But I'll be running a tight ship here today, so no funny business with anybody. Understood? Your boldness. Robin Newman and Hugh O'Connor have recanted their confessions. But later I shall grill them at a leisure to find whether I can charge them with perjury. Well, this sure complicates matters. Still, one must not overlook the facts. Now, about the school camera photo that was submitted yesterday. A pity, but that evidence is no longer relevant to this case. The art room clock runs fast. It cannot function as an accurate measure of time. As for the bungling detective who overlooked that, he is paying for his failure as we speak. Poor Detective Fulbright. I hope he returns to work with all his body parts intact. Oh, but if that's the case, then what will we... The accused of the sole person who could have moved the body from art room to stage. And I mean to prove it here to this day. I can read. It's just like Detective Fulbright said. What else does he have up his sleeve? My understanding of this heinous crime is thus. The murder took place near the center of the art room, as evidenced by the bloodstain. Blood was also found on some pottery next to the window over the maintenance area, which is to say the body was carried over to that very window. From there it was dropped down to the maintenance area below. And though we are nary a scratch to the body aside from that fatal wound, That, too, was per the script. A high jump mat was employed to cushion the fall. Then a ball cart was used to haul the body over to the stage.
That's not very clever. I mean, it's the same exact body moving scheme as the script. Anyone could have moved the body that way.
Objection!
Your propensity to spew forth words before you think is not very clever either.
Why, you...
Moreover, the prosecution has a witness, which is most unfortunate for you. Witness, it's time for you to come forth. Yes. Huh. Ahem. Well then, will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Hugh O'Connor. I'm a senior at Themis Legal Academy, and I'm studying to be a lawyer. Yesterday I told that lawyer there that I would testify to the truth. So I intend to cooperate fully in today's trial. Happy now, Miss Sykes? What's he up to now?
The court appreciates your cooperation. Mr. O'Connor, now, your testimony, please.
Okay. What O'Connor saw. The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and the maintenance area. She was heading towards me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. But I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that. The real truth hurts so much, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? Or maybe you thought I was going to bring up something else entirely against your clients. Duh, never a snappy comeback when I need one. He's coming straight at us today, using any means possible.
To protect the students who had to climb up high when setting up the stage. The mat was brought over to the stage from the storehouse.
Our client is the student council president. What's wrong with her taking up upon herself to put the mat away when they'd used it?
Objection!
Oh, there is plenty wrong. There was but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a fall from such lofty heights. Ergo, the mat in question was indispensable to moving the body.
It sucks being the last to know everything. I think I get it now. The drag marks we saw behind the stage were made by that mat.
If the only mat of that thickness was where the body is assumed to have been dropped, it would be hard to deny a possible link to this case.
Off to a bad start again. You sure you're okay, Athena? It's game on, Hugh. Game on. I'm gonna turn your arrogant, perfect score grin into a teary-eyed frown of failure. The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. Hold it right there. What? I was just getting the important part.
Eager to unsheath your blade, Sykes-Stono. Your heavy breath heaves to where I stand.
How rude. A human's breath doesn't travel anywhere near that far.
So, the only issue is distance? You're not denying that you're a heavy breather.
I'm just saying that scientific studies have proven that it's not.
Hang in there, Athena. No matter how many insults they hurl, it won't affect the judge's opinion of you.
What about my own self-esteem?
Let's get back to what happened before the mock trial.
That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. Our client was simply putting them out away. It had nothing to do with this case.
Objection!
That is where you are wrong. There was but one mat in the entire... Yeah. Cushion and three-story fall. We kind of already read this. Hence, the mat dragged by the accused was essentially moving the body to donate another thick mat to the academy. You'll have my full cooperation.
Hold it!
Alright. Mr. O'Connor, are you positive you were standing exactly where you said?
I was between the stage and the maintenance area, where she was behind the backdrop.
Huh, so he's sticking to his guns. The issue is where he was standing when he says, yeah, there should be a partition there. But nothing I say will mean anything without evidence. Time to dig a little deeper.
Oh, and before you ask, I had my glasses on. Therefore, I'm positive it was Juniper. That is not an issue.
Yeah, that's the only... I believe this contradicts that, because he literally couldn't have seen it. Which means your entire testimony is a lie. There's nothing else that pertains to it, and that wall is no other evidence. It has to be this. I'm not even going to read the rest of the stuff. So, you saw the back of the stage from between the stage and the maintenance area? Well, let's take a look at this photo taken by Miss Scuttlebutt, shall we? This photo shows the students setting up the stage the day before the mock trial. Do you see the big construction screen to the right of the stage in the background here?
Oh, yes. In fact, there were a bunch of those next to my house until a few days ago, too. It was so noisy behind there, but I couldn't take a peek. Oh, how it piqued my interest.
Exactly, Your Honor. You cannot see past such screens. That is their purpose. Now let's see, how exactly is that screen positioned again? Aha! Since it was to the right of the stage, it should be right here. And from this vantage point, the witness claims to have seen our client behind the stage backdrop.
Oh my! But the screen would have been completely in the way!
That's right. Therefore, the witness couldn't have possibly seen our client from this point.
Ugh, ouch! Order! Mr. O'Connor! Have you been lying to this court?
The screen, right. It must have slipped my mind. What are you telling me Mr. Genius forgot something as literally as big as that? There are two kinds of memory lapses. The normal kind you mouth breathers have, and the genius level lapse of memory that people like me have. Why don't you just admit that it was a normal, everyday brain fart already?
Will the witness now please restate what he remembers minus the lapse of memory?
That's easy. I was on the other side of the screen. In other words, I witnessed Juniper from the stage side of the screen.
Objection!
You are testifying that our client was behind the stage. But need I remind you, this court, the back of the stage is not visible from the front. To actually see our client behind the stage from the stage side of the screen, the witness himself would also have to be in the same area behind the stage. But in that case, our client would have definitely seen Mr. O'Connor.
Ouch!
Nice one, Athena. Keep it up.
Objection!
All right, Golden Boy. Is this not your chance? Telling the truth will be like a weight lifted from your chest. The truth? What truth? The fact that Golden Boy here was where he initially stated. That is to say, he was between the maintenance area and the stage. But then the screen would have blocked his view of...
Objection!
On the ground, yes. His view would have been blocked indeed. But consider how smoke always wants to rise up high. Athena, look at that photo again. Do you think something on the other side of the screen? Something high enough to see the stage? No way. This crane right here? But I don't remember seeing a crane there on the day of the mock trial. Me neither. But it's probably safe to assume it was moved before you found the body. That's far enough, Prosecutor Blackquill. Remember, you promised. Huh. I recall making no such promise. It was you who came blubbering to me about keeping quiet in exchange for information. What's all this about? A promise? Is this about whatever Blackquill is using against him? And what's it going to... And what does it got to do with what's going into the crane? Golden Boy did not go up high in that crane for fun. He was working part-time as a crane operator within school grounds.
What? Do you mean to tell me a high school student was operating a crane?
Right, because I guess he really needs money or something. Because he's paying, I think he's paying for his grades. So means he's probably short on funds. The witness, I object to the prosecutor's last statement. There's no proof I ever operated that crane.
Hold it!
Actually, there just might be something that proves you did. What? If this whole part-time job thing is true, I doubt it would be limited to a single day. You were probably working at the same site as the previous day, too. Oops. Is this what you're thinking of, Athena? Oh, there he is. There's the bastard. Yep, as the court can see, this photo captured the crane's operator. And if you look carefully, he bears a definite resemblance to Mr. O'Connor. Are you serious? This is ridiculous.
Oh, very interesting. Let's ascertain whether this is ridiculous at the witness... Let's ascertain whether this as ridiculous as the witness maintains.
Ascertain, maintain. The defense agrees with the prosecution. Let's bring the facts to light.
Huh. That's all very well and good, but just how do you propose to do that?
The person in this photo has only one really distinguishing feature. And I'm not 100% sure, but it's at least worth a try. Could we identify the person in this photo as the witness by examining... I guess his neck. The figure in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck.
Why, yes, you can see it right there. But then, are you saying you mean to...
Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost entirely concealed by his tall collar. But that's exactly why I believe this warrants further examination. No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy.
Huh. You are a disgrace of a man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off.
Yeah, what's the big deal? Now let's see that neck.
Guess I have no choice. Huh. Oh my.
So, where did you buy that neckband, if I may ask? I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world. Well, it sure looks like the neckband in the photo. Should we have the photo analyzed? Oh, look at that. Is that a bot? Guilty. You're one irritating lady. Fine, I admit it. I work a part-time construction job. It has nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment's no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. That's right, I'm forklift certified. What's sexier than that? But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school.
But when you factor in all the required test and apprenticeship period, wouldn't you have to be at least 20 to have a license for operating a crane?
Oh, about that, you see, I'm a genius, so, you know.
Objection!
Let us dispense with this innate charade, golden boy. No, Prosecutor Blackquill, don't do... High school seniors are 19 at most. Thus, they fail to complete the requirements. But that does not apply to you, does it, Mr. O'Connor? Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right? No, don't, please! He was held back. Actually, Golden Boy here is 25. Wow! Golden Boy here is 25. He took a 7-year break from school. Wait, come again? Take a gander at the official school enrollment documents. It is all right there. Ouch. 25? You mean he's older than me?
A 25-year-old high school student?
I thought he was like held back a year. Hey, a 7-year break. 7 years. 7 years ago. A 7-year break. 7 years. It's just one thing to say. There are two kinds of 7-year breaks. The ordinary kind you mouth breathers take, and the genius kind people like me take.
Objection!
But a genius would quickly become a core for a 7-year break. What? Become a chore. But a genius will quickly become a chore. I think you have that backwards, Athena. Okay, it wasn't supposed to make sense. Good. Even geniuses make mistakes. I just happened to make mine. Only 7 years in a row. Only you could get away with using only like that.
Enough of this jibber-jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in the crane when he saw the accused dragging the mat. The accuser did all she needed to move the body immediately prior to doing so. That much is clear. I see no need to deliberate the matter further. Considering that the body was moved in the same manner as the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. Does the defense care to dissuade me?
As long as the mat was used to move the body, it's going to be under suspicion. Athena, I just thought of something. What was you doing in that crane right before the mock trial? He couldn't have been on the job at the time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start. Yeah, why was he in the crane? Wait, you don't think... Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Sykes?
You've got it. I've got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution's claim on its head. A little conjecture has never stopped us before.
Interesting.
Mr. O'Connor, you were using the crane to move the body, because that's what's being discussed. The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like in the script too. At least, that's what the prosecution believes. How simplistic, even foolish. It's not funny anymore, you insulted me. Those are pretty strong words, Athena. Are you sure about this? The witness is a licensed crane operator, so he could have used it to move the body.
Objection!
Why is this not disappearing from my feed? I guess that doesn't disappear now. Whatever. Well, go, olden boy. Care to chime in? I intend to say no more on the matter, save that this does not bode well for you. Wait, he's on my side this time? Or is this another trap? Watch this! I can use a bow and arrow one-handed. Wait, that's a crazy level of dexterity. I can even drive a crane with one hand. That's easy. But operating the crane itself is so complex, it requires both hands. Now, I would have the court look at this. Oh, please tell me that's a ketchup stain. Well, now we know why his hand has been in his pocket the whole time. You wish. You wish. My hand was injured and required surgery. That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time. I have already verified that this was the hospital of treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they say. So, how did you hurt it? I see no need to discuss that. It was no relevance to this case. 2 hands are required to operate the complex machinery such as a crane. Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by crane. Now I'm the fool? I'd planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Wanting to keep my part-time job a secret, I had to do it just before the mock trial instead. Ugh, and here I thought this was the big break we've been waiting for. Wait, so how did you move the crane? Can you drive it without operating the crane then, I guess? Now that's the defense sufficient. Now that the defense's sophistry is laid bare, I would have the court recall my claim. The body was dropped out of a 3rd-floor window on a mat near the maintenance area. Then a ball cart was used to move it to the stage. See, I've been paying attention. Well done, your baldness. Now consider this. The accused was sighted dragging that mat. Ergo, it was she who moved the body. Well, I think you're on the right track, Athena. You do? Yeah. Juniper remains a suspect if we assume the body was moved per her script. So as the defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved. But... Oh, is he telling me to think of another way besides the crane?
Miss Sykes, if you have a counter-argument, the court would love to hear it. And
If you do not, it is time for the verdict. Isn't that correct, your baldness? No, not yet. All I have to do is show that the body wasn't moved like that it was in the script, right?
Well, that would show that the mat had nothing to do with this case.
There is a sort of great new yarn that cuts down sophistic lawyers. Its name is evidence. You don't scare me. Force a smile, Athena. You can do it. What's wrong with your face, Athena? It's a weird mix of terror and creepy grin. Just focus on how the body could have been moved without it being dropped. How could anyone lower it without just dropping it? It's not like it could fly. maybe it could. After all, there is a way to zip between the art room and the stage. The zip line. Someone could have easily used that thing.
Huh? Uh-oh, yes, of course. Miss Sykes, the court would like to see what you have for us.
All you have to do is show the tiniest shred of possibility. The mat and the ball weren't used to move the body. This is what was used. An arrow. They tied the body to an arrow and they shot the body there. Oh, this. The school banner has blood on it.
Take that!
The key here is the thing that ties the art room into the stage together.
Might I propose an idea? I might do well to tie your lips together, lest you further expose your ignorance.
This isn't exactly the time for black comedy, Prosecutor Blackquill. Anyway, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. The wire was strung between the art room and the stage, which allowed students to run a reel in the school banner from the art room. The body could have easily been lowered to the stage via this wire.
Theme music is playing. Spare me your armchair theories. This wasn't some kind of high wire act. The body surely would have fallen. Yet there were no signs of blunt force trauma.
Objection!
Oh, you surprised me, Prosecutor Blackquill. You didn't actually think I failed to account for that? I'm sure that's exactly what he thought. When we investigated the stage yesterday, the bottom of the school banner had been tied up in a pouch-like shape. Pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried?
Well, go on. Please examine. Explain.
The body was bundled into the pouch-like section of the banner and sent down the wire. The body would have been down on that stage in a flash, and there'd be no need for a mat.
Oh, I've heard the phrase carrying the banner, but the banner doing the carrying, bro. I have no patience for you or your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is as shaky as a corpse performing that absurd high wire act.
If you have any actual objections, then just come out and say it.
I trust you recall the bloodstains left on the art room pottery. If the wire had been used to move the body, it would have to be via the window above the quad, the one with the winch. However, the bloodstained pottery was next to the window above the maintenance area. Ergo, the wire and the banner had not all to do with this case.
Oh, the bloodstained pottery. I remember that. This doesn't look good. We'll be back in the map theory if you don't do something.
Well, Miss Sykes, I hope you have something better than this, time than a circus act.
If my wire theory is true, then that blood on the pottery must have been blood at all. Must not have been. It's a 50-50 shot. I don't remember if it's... I don't think it's actually blood. Is it in my court record? I don't remember at all. I think it's just red paint. It's not have been blood at all. At first we thought it was red glaze, but it turned out to be blood. But what if we go back to the time when it was just red glaze by all accounts?
Objection!
But the police have clearly identified it as blood. You can't change the fact and fix... Oh, wait. Let alone...
I didn't remember. Hey, I didn't remember.
Now then, Miss Sykes, please share your thoughts on what this blood really is.
Not the victims. Oh, it might be Hughes. It's Hughes. Duh. Maybe it's not the victim's blood. Did the police check to see from whom the blood on the pottery came from? Shame on you, Sykes Dono. Have a little more respect for the constabulary, woodsy.
Yeah.
Fulbright. Looks like they didn't check it. Don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes. Spare me your cheek. We will know not either way till the tests are run. True, but in the meantime, I'm going to press my claim as far as I can. Your boldness, I demand the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant.
Of course. It shouldn't take too long to get the results back. Oh my, that was quick.
Or history if it turns out to be the victim's blood. Please, please let it be someone else. Someone else's. Ugh. It seems the blood was not from the victim.
What?
Furthermore, a comparison with our parties involved with this case reveals that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. Score! Don't worry, Junie. Just try to relax. His hands were dripping with blood. It was his own blood. Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand had suffered a serious injury. He sustained the wound in a struggle with the victim. His blood got on the pottery. Then Junie saw his blood-stained hands as they passed each other in the first-floor hall. It's the only explanation that covers everything.
Objection!
There is but one way now to turn aside her blade, but do not cast the blame on me. Your grudge is with Sykes, Dono, for it is she who forces me to expose your secret.
Fine. Whatever. Wow, how much dirt does he have on Hugh?
The court will observe this odd-looking envelope.
Oh, that's a box cutter. Oh, that hurts to get stabbed with.
It was inside this that Miriam Scuttlebutt's script was found.
Miss Scuttlebutt's... But didn't the prosecution already claim that this envelope is the one that contained her script?
Circumstances have changed. You see, Golden Boy had hidden this from us all. Let's see here. My word! Talk about the world's most painful paper cut.
Indeed. You can clearly see that if this envelope is not opened correctly,
a powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. The only one who had been told of the correct way to open it was Constance Corty.
You really want to see Matt? Oh, I know, that's right. This is a Solid Snake reference, so.
Otacon, you really want to see my script that bad? Well, you better watch out. Read it without my permission, and you'll wish you hadn't. Otacon.
Yikes, Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that.
The blood on the blade is the witnesses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script and paid for his foolishness.
Youch! This guy's the worst genius I've ever seen. Don't worry, Athena. That wound isn't that deep. We've still got the wire theory. Yeah, I've got it. Since the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's, There's no longer any basis for denying the murder was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that. You call yourself a lawyer? Don't you see that glaring contradiction in your thinking? Huh?
The court would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out,
And you? How can you adhere to such outdated beliefs? But whatever. It seems you've forgotten the two statues that were on stage directly below the wire. A body sent sliding down the wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain that away? They did crash into them, and then they broke.
Why, I believe he's right. The statues and the wire are extremely close together.
Ugh, so the body would have collided with the statues? Yeah, that's how it broke. Huh. What if they did collide? Wait, that's it! Please don't make me do anything for this. This is so obvious. Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. Oh, I love those silhouettes. That's hilarious. But if we assume the body crashed into them, that would also explain the loud sound we heard while we were in the waiting room.
Oh, now that you mention it. You and Mr. Wright went out onto the stage after you heard that sound, correct?
Objection!
Interesting. How very interesting. But may I ask just one question? When was it that you heard said sound? It was a little after the mock trial had started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears there in the waiting room when... Precisely. If that sound you heard did happen while the body was being moved, that would place it during the mock trial. Oof, which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started. You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body. He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim that the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water. Stupid contradiction. It's going to get me and our case killed.
The focus was on just 3 suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. That has been the major premise thus far. Your assertion, therefore, contradicts the very foundation of this case.
Objection!
Both sides still lack incontrovertible evidence. So, should we not also treat Golden Boy's testimony with some level of suspicion?
Oh, good point.
If Prosecutor Blackquill is on our side, I bet he's figured out the truth behind this case. Well, great, as long as he's not up to something else. If the statue really were broken when the body hit them, then Hugh's statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie. Okay, Mr. O'Connor. Let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look me straight in the eyes and repeat your statement to me. Like I said before, before the mock trial, the body was, shit, oh fuck, oh bitch, oh piss, I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth, and do it now. That is, if your head wishes to enjoy the continued companionship on your body. Yikes! Ouch. Now out with it. Did you truly witness the body? Or were you just lying about it? Well, which is it? You what? I never saw the body.
Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again and I will charge you with perjury.
There was no body on the stage. I've been lying about that this whole time. I'm sorry. Yes, we've exposed Hugh's big lie for what it is. But why would he lie about this to begin with?
Order. The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both the defense and the prosecution's case.
Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now at least we know the body was moved using the wire in the school banner.
Indeed. That much I shall concede, Sykes-Dono. The body was moved as you stated, and in the midst of the mock trial. Oh, so both sides are satisfied then? If the body was moved before the mock trial, we have our 3 suspects. But if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial, it is an entirely different story.
Right. All 3 suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis.
Objection!
How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio?
Oh god! Audio technicians! That fucking me over again! Audio always fucks me over.
Amidst the mock trial, she was the one soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. What's that? Who is this person in charge of the audio?
Oh no, how could I forget? It was... Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Ginny so large in this shot? Juniper was also in charge of the audio. When she wasn't in the trial, she was in the audio control room dealing with the music. Someone's gotta play these sick beats in the middle of court.
Indeed. The one who could enter the art room amidst the mock trial to move the body was none other than the accused, Juniper Woods, for she was in charge of the audio.
No.
Why, yes, I see. That does make perfect sense.
This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crime, Junie's in even deeper. No matter how you slice it, we're cooked. And here I thought Prosecutor Blackwell was on our side, at least on this issue. The twisted samurai strikes again. Twisted? It's more like dirty rotten.
Your baldness. It is time to put an end to this farce. Oh, the prosecution has presented a quite convincing case. But the defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Sykes?
Apollo, what are we going to do now? I've got nothing left. Nothing. Nada. Nyet! I've been thinking of something, but I'm drawing a big blank, too. Ugh, poor Junie. Unless we figure out something, she'll be... Objection! Objection! Well, I object to...
The fuck our shit. Objection. Stop right there. All ears to me. It's time you heard about the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. Listen, and you will hear the secret behind my perfect crime.
Perfect?
Crime?
Wait. This is some serious deja vu. Didn't we just go through something like this yesterday? Yes. Yes, we did. This had better not be another one of those enraging traps.
The murder, the moving of the body, the cover-up, it's all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead, arrest me. The real killer is right before you. Order, I say. Mr. O'Connor, you already confessed yesterday, and then earlier today you recanted your confession.
As if you mouth breathers could comprehend my genius. The ends justify the means. Now, bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddening intellect.
Enough. The only thing maddening in this ignominy you bear for all to see. For it is impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind the crime. There was no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi, and you were at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant at the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act.
Hugh doesn't seem to be the least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor, calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended even perfection. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. That wasn't really me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. I slipped out stealthily while my body double took care of the trial. I had them on off campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent.
I have a question I was hoping the defense and prosecution might help answer. Is it just me, or does the witness's testimony make no sense at all?
No, it's not just you, Your Honor. All I got from listening to that was a headache. Yeah, that was just plain weird, especially the whole thing about a body double.
Well, I'm relieved it's not just me. And the prosecution?
Your boldness, summon an ambulance this instant. The witness is stark ravening mad.
Yes, I think that would be for the best. Now then, let's pretend that never happened and move on to my verdict.
You people don't believe me? It's not a matter of not believing you. It's more along the lines of you're questioning your sanity. Yeah, the funny farm just called. They want their genius back. Shut your pie holes. The intellect of a genius transcends even logic. Besides, don't you guys have that weird device for testimony like this?
Objection!
Widget's not a weird device, and don't waste him on your ridiculous testimonies. Easy there, Tiger. Think of it this way. We don't want a vote to be passed just yet. So how about we give Widget a try? Well, this is against my better judgment, but I'd like to conduct a short therapy session.
Your better judgment? I'm a judge, and it's far beyond mine. Yet I find it hard to say no. Prosecutor Blackwell, I trust you have no objections. Prosecutor Blackwell?
The prosecutor said, rubbish, we will be out on a stroll. Then left with Detective Fulbright. I gotta go kiss my gay cop boyfriend. This is bullshit. How does he get away with stuff like that?
Then I'll interpret that as meaning he has no explicit objections. All right, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your therapy session.
I've seen my share of crazy trials, but this one takes the cake. Sorry, chat. Blackwell left. He has to go kiss his gay boyfriend. Hell of a body double. What the fuck is that? You won't believe this, but I used a body double, and he's really happy about it. That wasn't me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose my body. So it's... I'm just losing it. This is fucking hilarious. I'm fucking running it. I won. I slipped out stealthily. You call that stealthily? My dog took care of the trial. I had the run of campus. And then I killed her. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. I don't get it. His confession is overflowing with happiness. Maybe he enjoys thinking about us mouth breathers can't comprehend his genius. On normal happiness, he seems to take intense level of delight in his confession. Even a normal level of delight would be weird for a confession. Then again, he's not what I'd call normal. Why are you confessing? Who is this really for? I really feel like this is... I guess I'm gonna probe this, because that means he wasn't the one who lost. Yeah, well, you're really happy about Juniper being innocent. Mr. O'Connor, you're happy about... Happy? What are you talking about? I pity you, mouth breathers. You should listen attentively to the genius of my confession. I probed the wrong thing. There we go. I misclicked. Mr. O'Connor, yesterday you said that you didn't really care about Miss Woods anymore. I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore. But what? Why? Yeah, well, Juniper reported my secret to Professor Cordy, so... His secret? Oh, it's a bribe. She wanted nothing to do with me because I had disappointed her. That's why I didn't care about her anymore. I was never trying to protect her. My confession was always about one thing and one thing only. The truth.
Objection!
Mr. O'Connor, you feel great happiness in the fact that you might help set Miss Woods free. So much that it's overshadowed all of your other emotions. What are you... I can hear it clearly now, Mr. O'Connor. The discord you've been trying to suppress. People don't normally feel like you do when you confess. So, you really was trying to protect Juniper? Yes, I'm sure of it. Yu's feelings for her are the real deal. Wow, only 90%. We got a ways to go. But that means his confession is... Finally figured out the obvious, have we? Finally figured out the obvious, have we? Why, Prosecutor Blackquill, you're back! The confession was naught but lies, save for the part about being in the mock trial. Can we all agree now that the killer is the one in charge of the audio, i.e. the accused? Gah, why couldn't you have taken a longer stroll? Kiss your boyfriend longer, god damn it. No, you haven't unraveled the genius of my body double trick yet. You can't be serious. Do you really expect us to believe you had a body double? Yes, I do. But if you don't think I did, then prove it. Prove that I didn't have a body double. Either way, either we quit here and Juniper is found guilty, or we play along with Hugh's delusion. Let's go with the least worst choice, but first, let me update his testimony. But I used a body double. He feels nothing. Okay. So I guess he actually doesn't care about whether or not he won or lost. Slipped out stealthily while my brother took care of the trial. So, in this, he is sad. Why are you confused? Mr. O'Connor? Well, I'm confused. Yeah, I got it wrong. I am so glad I don't lose health for these. Why are you sad? Wait, what else could it be? We already know why he's happy. I honestly don't like these sections. They're a little annoying. You know what? I think I'm gonna press happy here, because why is he no longer happy? That is weird. Huh. I didn't almost lose you, say? Very odd. You exhibited happiness the entire time, except during this statement. You don't know when to give up. Wait, now that I think about it, no, don't. Stop making stuff up. When I left the lecture hall, it was during Professor Mean's pre-trial speech. That's when I moved the body. I then slipped back in just before the verdict. So you're saying you were there the moment your double was about to lose? Yes, I was. Naturally, I wasn't happy when I saw that. In any case, I was at the far end of the lecture hall behind the screen. I figured no one would see me if I came and went through the doors there.
Objection!
Sir Externo, how much longer will you indulge him in his charade? While it's true that none of the audience might see him go through either of those doors, the faculty seats on the balcony are a different story and have a splendid view. I thought you could do better than that. The lawyer's bench is on the right side when they're facing the front of the hall. I use the door on the right side near the lawyer's bench. That means my movements were only visible to someone on the left balcony. But that seat was empty at the time, which is only natural. After all, it belongs to Professor Cordy, and as we all know, she was already dead by then. That can't be right. An empty balcony seat on the left side contradicts this piece of evidence. It's this one. Yeah, it was Means.
Take that!
I have no idea where this contradiction is going, but I don't have any other moves at this point. I guess I'll just have to follow it and see where it takes me. You said the left balcony seat was empty, but was it really? I saw it with my own eyes. It was definitely empty. But what about this diagram? According to this, Professor Means was supposed to be seated in the left balcony seat. But if you left the lecture hall during his pre-trial speech, He would have been standing there at his seat, addressing the students and the faculty. Yeah, no, this can't be right. You do no one any favors by exposing the falsities of his confession. I've told plenty of lies so far, but this part is true, I tell you. There was nobody in the left balcony seat. You gotta believe me. It doesn't seem like he's lying this time. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's have you testify again, but this time don't spare any details. You get it. I'll repeat as many times as you'd like. I mean, my ingenious escape act warrants repeating, considering I'm the real killer. All I really care about is whether that seat was empty or not. Bum ba ba bum. Second floor was deserted, and that's why he was surprised. Why won't you believe me? He's mad that people don't believe him. Then all I do was go through the empty audio control room. I detected a powerful sadness and fear right after you said this part. As if you'd said something you shouldn't have. What's wrong with you? You really shouldn't reveal a presence and a feelings for all to see. Mr. O'Connor, it's you who is revealing your inner emotions by the way you speak. Plus, I have a good idea about why you're feeling sad. You're a horrible person. Can't you just leave me be? You said that you went through the empty audio control room, but that's not true, is it? There was someone who returned from there once Professor Means finished his speech. And that someone who was in the audio control room was... Who returned from... There was someone who returned from... I kind of want to say Means, because I think he did it, but I think this is actually more correct. Yep, he's 25. Good grief. Box. Wow, that takes up the whole... I love that. It takes up the whole frame. You know what? I'm gonna get it wrong just for shits and giggles. Because he's evil. It's wrong. Wait a second. Atrio? Yeah, it's wrong. Or at least I wish I was. Yeah, I know that makes no sense. Yeah, it was Junie. I wanted to just throw it out there. Just me calling my shot of it was definitely him. It so obviously Means is the bad guy.
Take that!
But I kind of already called my shot like 11 times. I know you realized there was a problem with your statement as you were saying it. That's why you felt so uneasy. If the audio control room really was empty, that would mean Miss Woods was roaming around the campus. Mr. O'Connor, if you really want to protect Miss Woods, just tell the truth. If you believe in her, revealing the truth is the same as protecting her. Juniper's innocent. That's the truth. But in the dark age of law, the truth can be easily twisted to serve anyone's needs. When the ends justify the means, your only choice is to fight back with lies. Hughes Hart won't hold out under this battle between truth and lies. Is there something I can do to make him recant his false testimony? No, I fear nothing now that I have lost everything. Go ahead, Prosecutor Blackwell. Cut me down if you wish. Huh. I thought you'd never ask. With you gone, we may swiftly proceed to a verdict. Yeah. Oh, he broke off his shackles again. He broke off his shackles again? I don't want to be the poor accountant down at the detention center. Hugh O'Connor, in defense of your valor, I will limit your suffering with one clean blow.
Hold
Could you wait just one moment before you cut him down?
Silence.
Do not come down on me, Mr. Sykes Donut. Yeah, I never learned about this in law school. Careful, prosecutor. Remember that shocking experience you had last time? Huh. Very well, Golden Boy. Very well. Golden Boy may live. For now. Enough already, Mr. O'Connor. Miss Woods would never want you to protect her this way. She values the friendship between the three of you more than anything. That's where you're wrong. She doesn't feel anything for me now. But what does it matter anymore? I might as well tell you everything. This is, no doubt, news to you, but I am not and never was a genius. Sorry, but I already know. Me too.
And don't forget about me. Though, in fairness, it was pretty obvious. Even I could tell.
I thought he was a genius at first, but... that stuff he said was crazy. There's no need to rub it in. Just shut up and listen. It all started several days ago. I accidentally learned that my parents have been paying good money for my grades.
But that's bribery.
So the bribery wasn't Hugh's idea? All my perfect scores were the product of cold hard cash, not genius. Even worse, when I confronted my parents about it over the phone. Juniper overheard me.
Oh my! Oh, what a terrible misunderstanding!
I've been living a lie. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm no genius. I'm completely worthless. A perfect 0. Hugh. Even so, I still wanted to make it up to Juniper for disappointing her like that. That's why I wanted to clear her name by putting the blame on me. I mean, she probably hates me now, so it'd be a relief for her to see me locked away. If you were trying to help her, then why did you testify against her? You were the ones who told me to tell the truth yesterday, so I thought if I did, it would help her. He wasn't trying to provoke us? Oh. Amber alert. Okay. Looks like we have a seriously misunderstood. It looks like we seriously misunderstood him, in more ways than one. At the detention center yesterday, Ginny was in tears when she opened up to me. But the truth is, the friendship between the three of them is still rock solid. If there was something that could help me prove that to Hugh... we even have proof of our friendship. Yeah, as long as our friendship lasts, you can bet we're all carrying them around. I know. What about the proof of friendship they mentioned? I wonder where or what it is. I mean, it's the friendship thing around his neck, right? I didn't buy it. This just happened. Well, not just, but it's been a hot minute. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world. Maybe it's... No, that's definitely it. That band around his neck. Mr. O'Connor? That band around your neck. That's your proof of friendship, isn't it?
Proof of friendship? Is that anything like a proof of purchase barcode, or...?
In court, evidence is everything. That's why the three friends created a friendship bands. It's the evidence that proves their friendship.
Oh-ho! How very interesting and chic.
If they have the doubts about their friendship, they can look to their proof that they have on hand. That's why Mr. O'Connor That's why Mr. O'Connor's hand always goes to his neck when he is pressured. It proves that he still has feelings of friendship towards the other two. It doesn't matter if I wear it if those two...
Objection!
But they feel the same way too. I know they wear their friendship band somewhere. Junie and Robin must both be feeling the same as Hugh. I just know it. Everything Hugh has said leads me to believe that. In fact, he may have also just told me that the others wear their proof of friendship. Where they're easy to touch. All we have to do is think back to their testimonies. Ready? Mr. Newman holds her arm when pressured. Miss Newman. Mr. whatever she wants. They. And Miss Woods holds her wrist. I know Miss Woods very well. She would never abandon her friendship with you over something like this. And taking the blame for her will only succeed in making her terribly sad. Ooh, anime.
Robin, those bands of friendship that you made, just for the three of us. You may have forgotten about them, but not me.
Hugh! Hey, Hugh!
And to think, I should have known better than to doubt my best friends.
This is cute. Listen, I also struggle with, like, exclamations like that. It is tough. I didn't kill anyone. And I didn't have a body double. I didn't move the body. I didn't even see it. It may look like I'm speed reading Zen in the Art of Mastering the Bar exam, but I haven't read a single word.
Oh, well, you could have fooled me. In fact, you did.
Hugh. So, Miss Sykes, can I place my trust in you? I'm going to save Junie. So yes, you can place your trust in me.
Then, am I understand that the witness is recanting his confession again?
Yes, yes.
Huh. A most roundabout trial. I much prefer the turnabout variety myself. Now we are back to the fact that there was but one suspect who lacked an alibi. Which is, in the end, the truth you've been seeking this entire time.
So we're back to square one. Now I'm exhausted and depressed. It probably doesn't matter at this point, but I might as well update the mood matrix. Oh! Huh? Does this mean...
Further resistance is futile. The time for a verdict is nigh.
Objection!
Please, wait!
What sort of delivery are you up to now?
What if our client wasn't the only one without an alibi? The trial would continue, right?
Well, yes, I suppose it would. But after such a thorough investigation, does such a person really exist?
Yes, we found something. It may have seemed like a major roundabout, but Mr. O'Connor's testimony has cracked this case. There's no more noise. Hugh is telling the truth now. During the mock trial, the balcony seat opposite him really was empty, which now means that there was one person unaccounted for. Bye-bye. Besides Junie, the only other person without an alibi during the mock trial is...
Take that!
this fucker. The balcony seat was empty. That much is true. Isn't it, Mr. O'Connor? That's right! How many more times do I have to say it? So basically, Professor Means wasn't where he was supposed to be during the mock trial.
Silence.
Need I remind you, every last soul in the lecture hall heard him deliver his speech.
Objection!
I know, and that's not in dispute here. Now let me explain how a speech could be given from an empty seat. It was... pre-recorded. What if the speech was pre-recorded? That's the only way the speech could have been delivered from the empty seat balcony. Wait, are you accusing Professor Means? That's insane! I mean, he's the one who gave me the tape recorder. Take this to the police, he said, and then tell him you found it. What? Really? Wait a second. Mr. O'Connor, did you just say that Professor Means gave that phony recording to you?
Phony? The defense will refrain from hurling unsubstantiated allegations.
Well, I said he gave it to me, but what did you do? But what do you mean it's phony? Wow, he could have seen this. Who could have seen this development? Updated! The voice shouting "You're a goner," as recorded on this tape, was dubbed onto it using a line our client said in the mock trial video.
Why, this is an extremely crucial piece of evidence.
Professor Means gave Hugh the phony tape. If that's really true, then Professor Means has guilt written all over him. Your Honor, the defense moves to call Professor Aristotle Means to the stand.
Silence.
Huh. The seat was never empty. 'Twas but an oversight by one dullard of a witness. And an inmate who was formerly a surgeon once told me something. He said it's often too easy to overlook critical symptoms.
Objection!
Well, we're not going to overlook this oversight. If the speech was pre-recorded, the basis for suspecting our client would be shattered. Let's check with Professor Means and see whether the empty seat was a witness... to see whether the empty seat was a witness oversight. A verdict without first looking into that would be inconceivable.
That's enough, both of you. Now, here's my opinion on the matter. While a surgeon overlooking critical symptoms is a problem, a witness oversights, too, must not be overlooked. Thus, as the matter of whether Professor Means was or was not in his faculty seat, I believe we must ask the professor himself.
I agree. Professor Means should be here in the gallery today.
Huh. Do as you please.
No way. The guy who promotes corruption, lying, and perjuries and has a really creepy smile is evil. But he's named after Aristotle. People love that guy.
Will you please state your name and occupation for the record? Certainly. I am Aristotle Means. I teach the lawyer course at Themis Legal Academy, and let me add that while I welcome any opportunity to assist with the trial, I don't care for this undue suspicion.
Don't worry, Professor. We're just interested in the mock trial video right now. We just need to take another look at the speech you gave. Can we count on your cooperation in this?
Very well. If that's all you're interested in, please proceed, Miss Sykes.
We need to find some sort of evidence that shows his speech was pre-recorded.
All right, I believe we're ready. Let's roll the video. Good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking you for coming here today. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for this day to come.
Oh no, I'd forgotten how long and boring his speech was. As a snore.
Huh. Wake me up once this is over.
Hey, no fair.
The experience of our youth have a powerful and profound effect on our adulthood. Ah, you there! Wake up, pay attention.
Huh? I'm awake. Isn't that right, Your Honor?
Oh, what? I'm awake too. Wide awake. See? Once again, pure white Lady Justice will be watching over all of you today. Pay attention and you may make a difference one day. Now, let the mock trial begin. That is about it. One of my better speeches, if I do say so myself. I even saw some of our students with tears in their eyes.
He's obviously not familiar with the phrase bored to tears.
Like Sykes to know, if you have subjected me to this epic study in tedium without purpose. Take, Taka will feast on your tongue after I've cut it out.
Yeah, but you were asleep the whole time.
Well, Miss Sykes, did you notice anything strange about that speech?
Could I please hear the last part again? Once again, our pure white Lady Justice will be watching. Oh, interesting. There, I finally found what we needed. Professor Means, I have only one question about your speech. Why does the last part we just heard contradicted with this?
Take that!
The professor said the pure white Lady Justice would be watching over them. But the Lady Justice in the video isn't even close to being white. It's as gold can be.
I'm not sure I can wrap my jaw around, that to test its authenticity.
I didn't say it was made of gold, Your Honor. Now, it's true that this statue is pure white. But it broke before the mock trial began. The one you see here is its replacement.
Oh, well, that's a sham on every account.
Ironically, the gold statue sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the white one. Meaning the professor wouldn't have made a mistake in its color if he'd been present.
Oh, it seems that I have caused some confusion, but it was merely an oversight on my part.
Objection!
The statue was in the middle of the room. How could you not know what it looked like?
Well, I was in the balcony seat. Furthermore, the statue had previously been white. Oh, I'm afraid this isn't sufficient evidence of the speech being pre-recorded. We had our answer long ago. The accused was the only one to leave the lecture hall.
No, wait, please. There's gotta be something that can prove that the speech was pre-recorded. According to the mock trial video, the speech started here and ended here. It was a little over 10 minutes, but I doubt anyone wants to be tortured again. It was only a little over 10 minutes, but I felt like it went on forever. How'd you figure out how long it was? Easy. There's a timestamp in the top right. All you have to do is subtract the time the speech started from the time it ended. The speech goes on for 10 minutes, marked the 2:35. Wait a second. I could swear I could have seen the same interval of time listed among the evidence. Maybe there's a way for me to use the speech time to show what was pre-recorded. I mean... 6:01. No, that's not. That's only like 2 minutes in between. What else is 10 minutes? Wait, isn't this tape... It doesn't say it anymore, but this tape recorder is 10 minutes long. Anything else that says 10 minutes? That doesn't say 10 minutes. Ooh, okay, interesting. The tape has about 10 minutes, 25... Ooh, okay, it's this one. It's this, actually. I'm glad I checked, because this says 10 minutes in the description.
Take that!
I would like the court to take a look at this.
And this is...
The voice pin analysis that proves the voice on the tape recorder belongs to our client.
Yes, but didn't we just establish that the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication?
We did. But what I'd like to focus on is the noise that is also there.
Noise?
Yes, the defense believes it is resulted when the tape's previous recording was erased.
Huh. And what do you hope to prove by that?
The length of the noise isn't what's important. It's 10 minutes and 35 seconds in all. And what did the timestamp read at the moment Professor Means began his speech?
Oh, that would be exactly 10.
Now let's fast forward this long-winded exercise in boredom to the end. Okay, stop. The video timestamp now reads 20:35. Based on this, we know the time it took for the speech alone.
Right, subtract 10 minutes and you get 10:35. Huh? 10 minutes and 35 seconds.
Right. 10 minutes and 35 seconds. The same as the noise on the tape recording. I assume you all understand what this means? Professor Means' pre-recorded speech had been where the noise is now.
Silence.
You seem rather confident considering this is a mere happenstance match of numbers.
Objection!
But is it really just numbers?
The lab is continuing their study of the tape. So far, we found signs of overdubbing, but it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased.
The police are analyzing the noise as we speak. It won't be long until we know what was originally there. Now I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an alibi with the recording by pinning the crime on Junie. Well, he's not gonna get away with it. Not on my watch.
Miss Sykes. Miss Sykes, I believe you are well aware of my methodology. Even if Juniper were the perpetrator, I would vigorously defend her as per my word. And to that purpose, I offered to be her lawyer. Alas, look what's happened.
All I've stated are obvious deductions derived from evidence and testimony.
Truth be told, I had no intention of testifying. I had been keeping quiet for Juniper's sake. But now that you are cast this blame upon me, I have no choice but to reveal the truth.
Uh-oh. This doesn't sound good.
I will now reveal the truth behind why I had pre-recorded my speech before the mock trial. I, Professor Means, always say what I mean, and mean what I say by all means.
We're getting some testimony from this guy.
The defendant came to me with what she said was very important, and by necessity, secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do. Oh my! So you're saying the defendant threatened you?
This has to be a lie. I mean, everything about it lines up too perfectly to be true.
On this most consequential of occasions, let me be completely frank with you. Juniper has truly taken to heart my teaching that states the end justifies the means.
I don't believe you.
When she asked me to defend her, she said I must also prove her two friends innocent. Her two friends? The witnesses? Correct. O'Connor and Robin Newman. It was to ensure all three walked free. All three would achieve their dream. That was the result Juniper was seeking. And she was even willing to threaten me, her own professor, to that end. Huh. You no doubt had high praise for her ruthless tactics. Yes, well, that is why I vowed vigorously to defend her despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought truth if they wished for victory in court. But alas, those days are over. Now, in the defense of justice, order, and all that is good, the end justifies the means. So yes, I am on record advocating for perjury. Now please listen to my testimony. I am telling the truth.
I am so sick of hearing that phrase.
Though it truly grieves me so, I must tell you this. Forsake the truth, if it's victory you seek. Steel yourself for this new courtroom reality.
That does it. He's gonna regret dragging those dismal, depressing ideas in here. Since he's already surrendered to the dark age of law, it's up to me to fight it.
Why so silent, Sykes Dunno? Something the matter?
This is a court of law. It's no place for long-winded talks about idealistic principles. That's why I'm going to let evidence do the talking.
Oh, let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. It will not do to have you attempt to discredit my doctrine. Do not force me to rectify this situation.
No, go ahead and rectify it. Only if I lose and you win, that is.
The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial.
Let's press that. That's sus. Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi?
You have every reason to be surprised. I too was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she wished to protect that badly.
Is he kidding? That lie couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is, how am I going to expose it?
It was an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused?
Let's press that. How could you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it's your duty to discipline students.
Yes, well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose it was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed the murder and that she hadn't meant to threaten me. Really? Please do explain. Long have I waited for a student who would embody my teachings. Does the witness realize what he is saying? Surely you must see the true meaning in my words. I am merely staying true to what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times.
Oh wow, his way of thinking really is warped. But I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet. I wouldn't be so sure. Really? The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies in his actions and words.
It is a dark age we live in, and there is much I would like to say on the matter.
What's my... Cody's planner. Nail that piece of the victim's side, it stained the blood. We're talking a lot about his values. Anything here talk about his values? That's not important. I'll just press this. You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. I'll say anything to pin the blame on Junie.
What a frightful look! I would ask that you not glare at me so. I have nothing but admiration for how Juniper was willing to go as far as to threaten me. That is why I am protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student.
Liar. You were trying to pin the blame on her. How am I going to show that what he's saying isn't what he really thinks?
You cannot possibly overturn my claims. So, isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, it is my unassailable logic, is it not? It is my unassailable logic, is not truth, then what is?
If he thinks I'm going to give in to his pack of lies, he's got another thing coming. I'm gonna find a hole in his story if that's the last thing I do. Even though he's rotten to the core, he's a total pro. I mean, that all made perfect sense. Believe a word he says. As he goes along, he'll trip on his own words yet. I just press everything. I'm not sure where this is going. I doubt our client would have come to you without something like that. With something like that.
You have a point there. If only Professor Cordy had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead. Oh, wait.
So a client came to talk to you after Professor Cordy was dead?
Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to me that day.
Okay, this is important to press. She asked me... Oh, wait, never mind. Did I already press this? Yeah, I already pressed that. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court due to the pre-recording. Is it just this? Or it could be this. Testing is underway, signs of a post-recording editing. Let's present this. This is the only thing, like, relevant. I think I might be wrong, but fuck it.
Objection!
Yeah, it's wrong. This piece of evidence said it all. No reason to explain. I'm a little stuck, and I'm gonna go ahead and look this up. Because I have somewhere to be later, and I don't want to take forever. I don't like cheating, but I want to go see a movie, and I want to finish this case. Did I already press? I thought I already pressed this. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I was on the right track. This is a little obtuse. This kind of sucks, so I don't regret looking this up. So let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods? Huh. That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor. I don't want. Alright, it's 3 o'clock. I have 45 minutes to finish this.
Such defamation of my character in your hair follicles, Your Honor. It is outrageous. Oh, Miss Sykes, I will clarify. Miss Sykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor. Now please, take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it."
There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise, involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it is incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witnesses wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself while blaming others. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law.
Bah.
Who are you, little? You dare call my teachings and methods lies?
Oh, hello.
Themis Legal Academy is a profound institution. It is the most powerful in the world. You'll never forget what true education and lawyering means once I'm through with you.
Huh? Professor Means? What's with your hair?
Quiet! No talking in class!
Yow!
Eyes and ears up here, everyone! Homeroom is now in session. You will begin with roll call. Athena Sykes.
Huh? Oh, here?
Apollo Justice.
I'm fine. Here.
Fool! You proper responses here without any extraneous information.
Yow! Here.
Next, Your Honor. Here. See, class, that's the proper way to answer, Simon Blackquill. I said, Simon Blackquill. You are here, are you not?
There's always one, isn't there?
Well then, I'll just mark you absent. Now, get out of my class this instant!
Get out. Very well, if that is your wish. Who am I to defy my homeroom teacher?
Peace out, losers.
Is that a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles. It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinary committee. But is that really so shocking?
Constabulary lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, Fulbright. Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. All right, class is now in session.
Ugh. Why do I have the sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomach ache?
Main point, Juniper is the killer. I am innocent.
Pay attention. I am not the killer. Juniper is. That will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper.
Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial. I was not at school.
Athena, you disappoint me so. To think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murder occurred on the 23rd, between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already home at that time. So, how could I have been involved in the crime?
Professor Means, can you really prove you had already gone home by that time?
Can you prove that I was still at school?
I can, asshole. No, I can't. Except I can.
So you admit it. Well, you just earned extra credit for honesty. But you have also earned yourself lavatory cleaning duties until you graduate.
Ew, but I do enough of that in the office.
Objection.
No way, man! I totally object!
Robin, I can't believe I fell for the Professor's silver-tongued lies.
Why, you? How dare you talk about your teacher like that?
I'm not listening to you anymore, man! No way, no how! Now, I have a confession to make! You know those two statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself!
The statues on stage? Do I know where this is headed? Do I want to know? I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell? Right, and it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished.
Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony.
The professor told me, I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I had made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth! Robin.
Quick! Somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight! Simon, you're head honcho among the delinquents. Do something! Who's in charge of the class pet around here? Not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only a real blade will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Where's the school nurse when you need one? It would seem Sexton seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case, you would do well to draw your staff quick as lightning. Very well. Then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served old school style. What does that... Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statues between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had time to go to the art room and commit murder?
You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues?
Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now.
That evening, I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten there. So after the last bell rang, I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed that both statues were finished. They were quite large, so they were each covered with a white sheet, but I could tell. Oh right, the professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in an hour and a half?
it would probably take me at least twice as long. So personally, I think it would have been incredibly difficult to finish that in short a time. Ugh, that didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Grr.
Now pay attention.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and refer to the guide, because I would love to voice this guy more, but he will eviscerate my throat.
Hold it!
Why were you in such a hurry?
In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I got to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime.
Ugh.
Well, when you can see that I never left the stage.
Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim?
I accept it. I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. Ugh, I guess I concede.
Huh? I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time.
Ugh, I concede that Professor Means never left the stage.
That's right. But what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime.
I'm not gonna give up here.
I'm afraid that I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors. Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. At times like these, when it seems like there's no way out, that you have to. Yeah, I have to turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit the murder without going there.
It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary, even casting stones. If it'll distract her. Who brought the bird to school? Sykes, Dono, if I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I'll have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between the two key facts?
If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, then the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it! Every last one of us made a huge mistake. What we were totally wrong about is... crime scene. If Professor Means was on the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer.
Ridiculous! The defense has been utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it's just, the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was.
Continue, Sykes, Dono.
Okay, the murder was actually committed here. Point this.
Take that!
The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all.
Silly girl! When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed.
There wasn't any blood on the stage, really. But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's blood-stained. I don't need the guide for this.
Take that!
It's true, there were no bloodstains on the stage floor. But there was something on the stage that did have a bloodstain. And that would be this. This school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed.
Oh my! That's quite a compelling theory.
Silence.
Well, what is it now? My theory makes perfect sense.
That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states that the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace of mount was found upon the banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not. Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get in.
Objection!
Actually, the fence has something to explain that as well.
You do?
I don't need to look at this either. I know what it was. It was the burn thing. Took a blood. All I have to do is figure out what it was. Oh. I guess I don't even need to...
Take that!
Okay.
Why? It looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner.
It's the Gavanier's banner that had been specially made for the school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
So the banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it.
The Gavanier's banner was like a dishcloth? It surely was at least towel quality.
Simon, don't just stand there, do something.
Silence.
Sykes-Dunno, you are learning to wield a blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this?
The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on the stage as you claim?
Objection!
The bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. That something was a piece of evidence that we just finished discussing. I guess this.
Take that!
To think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court.
It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood so Gavanier's banner to the art room. Then the blood was wiped out onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense.
Good. Go.
Go.
Order! This is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved.
Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How else could you explain the loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it?
I hadn't thought of that. If the loud clash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it indeed? The knot in the school banner shows that something was carried along the wire with it. So if that's the truth, I wonder what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder, then on the stage after. Lady Justice.
God! The statue!
Yes, I believe it was this statue that broke the other two, not Professor Cordy's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Cordy accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it, as you see here. Nobody would have guessed it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence.
Huh. Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap heap relic to such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming.
You know why, but the fact that you don't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the fact that Lady Justice was moved in order to... I'm gonna look up the guide for this one. Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pinpointing us to the body and cementing his alibi.
It's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done.
You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says, and says what he means by all means.
Fine then, say it already. I'm waiting.
The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until the next day. Countless students passed the stage until they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why didn't anyone see the body that entire time?
That can be explained by...
If the victim was murdered on the stage and left there, the body inevitably would have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage.
This isn't a good Athena. Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp. I know, but we've come so far.
Consider yourself scalded. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been and always will be.
Just wait a minute. God, you know what? I'm actually kind of lightheaded right now. And I'm gonna have to leave soon. You know what? I'm gonna end a little soon, if that's okay. I know it's like in the middle of the case is a weird-ass place to end. But my throat's on fire and I'm hungry and I'm lightheaded. So fuck it. This is literally the worst place to end, but who cares? Thank you for the one person who's here. Please stay a minute for when I raid a cool Delta Room streamer, because I want to seem cool. Okay. Oh, fuck, I fucked it up. Please don't go. Please don't go. I misspelled it. F M. Hey, it's a raid. Let's go. Come on, peoples. Thanks for stopping by.